Hey everyone, it's Serena Nicole here. Welcome back to my channel, She Weaves Wisdom. So today I am dropping in to a pick a card reading, and the topic of this reading is soul evolution. What lessons are you currently moving through and evolving through as a soul? In a moment, I'm going to pull up 3 images. I just ask that you drop in and allow yourself to be drawn to one of the images. I'm a massive advocate of trusting in your own wisdom and intuition. So if it feels like it doesn't fit, it may not be for you at this time, and that's okay. Circle back to another reading, or maybe choose another pile. All right, my darlings, let's have a look at the images now. So I'm going to pull up 3 images, and from those images, I'm just asking you to take a moment to feel which one you're most drawn to. Here we go. So just breathing, centering, and allowing yourself to be drawn to one of the images. What is your soul currently evolving through? All right, let's start with pile number 1, image number 1. So if you were drawn to, whoops, sorry. If you were drawn to pile number 1 or image number 1, this is your reading. So you were drawn to the first image. Your main anchoring card is Orbs of Light. I've got your soul's lesson, like the lesson you're moving through is the 8 of Cups. Spirit's guidance for you is a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. And the surrounding energies are mirror. What or who is triggering you? Legacy of light. So there's two cards about light and wisdom. I'm already receiving messages. Okay. So if you were drawn to pile number 1, then this is your message around the lessons you're currently moving through and your soul's evolution. So I feel like pile number 1, you are currently moving through a soul evolution, learning lessons about what is ready to be released is what I'm feeling. I feel so much tension in my body right now. It's interesting. I can feel this like really intense holding. I feel quite irritated. The more I tune into it, the more I'm like feeling the energy. And it's like irritants. You're being triggered at this time. But the triggering is to show you I'm hearing how you are dimming your light. Mm. I feel this like restrictive energy. It's kind of like this suppressed, like, I don't know if there are things happening in your external world that are creating this sense of like smallness in you, or like feeling almost like, yeah, it's like you this restriction around your light and how spacious and expansive and bright I'm hearing your light is. But I'm feeling this energy around you that feels quite restrictive. And this is the message around who or what is triggering you at this time. I feel like the triggers that are arising for you at this time are illuminating where you have outgrown, where I'm also feeling this like imbalanced energy, parts of your life that are really imbalanced. Like there's like the scales aren't balanced and you're being shown this. That's why it's coming up. It's triggering this in you so that you see. It's like you see it. Spirit wants you to see it. Your soul wants you to actually see it. And it's like through this awareness, you're gaining wisdom on what your next steps are. But I also just feel like there's a lot, like it feels like there's this, the lesson that you're learning is how to, why am I finding it so hard to share this message? I feel like that's part of it, is like, I feel like part number one, you're learning how to navigate choppy waters is what I'm hearing. I feel so uncomfortable in my body right now. Like I can't even explain. And it's actually kind of bringing this energy of like stifled expression. It's like I feel like I've lost my ability to speak. It feels like I'm being muffled. That's how it feels. Yeah, it feels like it's a lot to do with speaking up, speaking your truth, expressing your voice. Um, mm, but I feel like you've really in this process of elevation. Like I feel like you're coming into this place of elevation, and um it's not in the sense of like a pedestaling elevation, like I'm better than you. It's not like that. It's like you're elevating through a cycle of lessons around imbalance, um, not taking up space, uh, focusing on lack. I'm hearing it's like you're moving away from that. You're moving away from focusing on lack, on focusing on loss, focusing on things that like pains of the past. It's like that's being transmuted. You're coming into more balance in yourself. You're overcoming these deep rooted insecurities within yourself, and it's happened through the triggering of the external world. So it might have been through other people. You've been granted this deep healing to access more of your light. It's like you've gone through this process of triggering and healing those parts of you that have been deeply triggered, to come into more balance with yourself, which is actually allowing you to access more of your light. Which is actually bringing you more freedom in expression and speaking your truth and being open. And yeah, it just feels like, that energy, that the initial energy of what you've just moved through was so fucking restrictive. Holy moly. It felt like it's like you were bound up by restriction and suppression and insecurities and past, feeling like past traumas. And I feel like you've really hit this peak of growth and healing and elevation, and it's put you into this space of deeper wisdom and connection to your own light. And it's leading to this win-win forecast. It's like, it's the scales are rebalanced now. And from that point, you're moving into the world with much more wisdom, much more grace, much more balance. I'm hearing poise and just feeling more at ease in your own skin. Taking the lessons with you. Yeah. That's what I really feel like your soul's just moved through, is actually that. I feel like you're actually coming out the other side of that. I feel like you've already moved through that and you're really you've traversed it. I feel like you're almost at the end. I feel like there's a few final pieces that are needing to be worked out, but I can feel it in my body. It's almost complete. And I'm hearing you're going to be standing on higher ground. You're going to see things from a different perspective. You're going to see yourself from a different perspective. There is a lot of spiritual support around you. Yeah, I'm really feeling a lot of divine protection and encouragement and support as you move to completing this soul's lesson. I feel like you may be fatigued and feeling quite tired, but your soul is really growing, and your ancestors and your spirit guides are really, really proud of you for really choosing this learning curve and really moving through it to come into this energy, more embodiment of your light. Yeah. Yeah, so spirit's guidance is just to let you know that things are balancing. Stay patient. Things are balancing out. there is a win-win forecast. So if you're feeling that there's still a little bit of, I'm hearing kinks in the hose, they're getting worked out, and it will come back into balance. Yeah. All right, my darlings, that feels complete. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you again next time. Ciao. All right. Pile number 2. What is up with you? Pile number 2. Pile number 1. That was pretty heavy. I actually feel really tired from tapping into that energy. Big work. Pile number 2. If you were drawn to pile number 2, this is your soul's evolution. This is what you're currently moving through, the lessons you're learning as a soul and what you're evolving through. So you were drawn to the image number 2, and your anchor card is past life activation. We've got the void. We've got you're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. We have got hidden beauty. So the lesson you're moving through has got to do with the 6 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. Just like flagging, I read cards intuitively, so it may not be the traditional meanings. And Spirit's advice is communication is key. New Moon in Gemini. Okay, give me a second. So pile number 2, Spirit, tap me into pile number 2's messages. Like, what is it that the soul is evolving through at this time? Like, what lessons are they learning? Excuse me. I really feel this energy of holding yourself back. And I feel like it comes from a deeply embedded place in ancestry. Yeah, I feel like it has something to do with your ancestral line, your family lineage. And it's kind of like I feel like, is this pile number 2's message? Or is this still pile number 1's energy? Because it's a similar kind of energy. It's really interesting. But it's about overcoming ancestral. It's like you're moving through ancestral karma and past life karma, but it has to do with holding yourself back. Yeah. And also hiding your truth. That's what it feels like. It feels like a lesson around avoidance, a lesson around not being your authentic self, a lesson around overthinking, but it's worrying about what other people are saying or thinking, or how they're going to perceive things. So Spirit's guidance for you at this time, as your soul is learning this lesson, is around communication. And I feel like it's this message to not shy away, to really keep facing, because this says keep facing your true north. And I feel like it's like moving forward, moving towards the things that feel really true for you, not overthinking your intuition and your next steps, and also just being really true to yourself. Like, it feels like first being honest with yourself, and then also just sharing authentically who you are with the world around you. And I'm hearing, fuck what people think. That's literally what I'm and I can feel it in my body. It's like this message around freedom. It feels like this freedom energy. Your lesson is around the ways in which you have been holding yourself back from fully embodying yourself, and fully being who you were put on this earth to be. Spirit's also saying that there's encouragement to spend more time on your own. It feels like it's really important for you to be in your own energy at this time. Like, I'm just looking at all these images, and the women in these images are solo. And I'm feeling that. I feel that there's this message around really removing yourself from external influences, which comes into this like self-honesty piece, but just really focusing on your true north, like focusing on what you're building, focusing on what you're working towards. I received this message this week, actually, around a similar theme. Yeah, it's like just really, it's coming in really strongly at this time around just staying really true to yourself, staying in your own lane, focusing on your path and journey, really filtering out external noise and distractions. There's this encouragement to get really honest with yourself, to almost strip back and get to the core of your truth, your deepest truth, and not avoid it anymore. Feel like you've been avoiding this truth, and that's part of your lesson, is to face your truth, to come face to face with your deepest truth, what you keep hidden and buried inside of you. And then from that place of deep self-honesty, stepping into communicating that with yourself and the world around you. And it might not be a physical like communication, it may be energetic, it may be through actions, it may be through words, but it may be energetic, and it may be through actions. I'm hearing this is a big one. I feel like this is going to be quite a substantial shift in who you are and how you're showing up and the choices that you're making. And it's breaking. I feel like you don't realize that it's actually breaking a substantial ancestral karmic thread, something from past lives, something through your family line. You're breaking this family karma through this process. Very cool. It's big, and you know, I'm hearing spirit say, you know, you're a chosen one. You're a chosen one to take on this journey and these lessons and breaking the chains for your family line, because your soul is equipped and ready for this evolutionary path. It has contracts and agreements, and yeah, I'm just hearing like, believe in yourself, trust your intuition, believe in yourself, and like set yourself free. It feels like that's the next step for you. It's like truly setting yourself free. It's gonna really shift a lot for you. A lot. All right, my darlings. I hope that has resonated and landed where required. I'm sending you so much love. Hit like, subscribe if you like my vibe, and I'll see you again soon. All right. Last pile number 3. So if you were drawn to image number 3, this is your reading on your soul's evolution. What lessons are you moving through at this time? Your anchor card is the Pink Rose of Lady Nada. You have got purity. You have got believe in the impossible. The Four of Wands. Interesting. Are you getting messages? Akasha. And it says, your guidance is divinely guided. The spaces between words. And sweet soul arising. All right, pile number 3. If you were drawn to this pile, this is your message around what your soul is currently evolving through. What lessons are you currently evolving through? So the lessons that your soul is currently evolving through is Four of Wands. And I'm going to read this not in a traditional sense, because I'm getting a different message through it. I'm hearing all-seeing eye. All-seeing eye, all-seeing eye. Just keep hearing that. I'm also feeling this protection. There's a spiritual protection around you at this time. What I'm feeling, part number 3, is you are moving through a cycle where you're really coming into more connection with your intuition, with your actually like being in connection with your higher self and your soul's voice. Yeah, I feel like you're really tuning into and tapping into your guidance, your soul's voice, your higher selves connection and direction. I'm hearing part of this process is like this purification. I feel like you're learning how to let go, surrender, open, trust. But most importantly, I feel this like feeling, the spaces in between words. Like you feel energy, you read energy. And I feel like you're coming into this like openness. You're going through this cycle of opening more fully to your spiritual capacity. As a result, you're really tuning into and feeling this connection to the world around you, to it just feels like you may be experiencing part of this, like when you start to elevate as a soul frequency, you can start to see the world in a brighter way. Like it's like all the colors become more radiant. And I feel like that's happening for you. It's like you're seeing the world, like everything feels brighter. Sounds get sharper. You also might feel more sensitive because of it. Like your senses are tuned up, tapped in. Your heart is opening. You're going through this massive heart awakening. But through this heart awakening, it's actually clearing your ability to be super connected to your higher self, your soul's voice, and the energy around you. It's actually you're opening up. That's what it is. You're opening up. Your senses are getting more in tune with things around you. So with this, there is a message around so I'm going to say really keeping up your spiritual hygiene practices, spending time tending to your energetic hygiene, really being mindful. Just saw a massive butterfly just fly through past my window. There is change coming through for you, big change. I think this is going to be something that you have felt like is impossible. I feel like it's about believing in the impossible. Believing is one of the biggest parts of manifestation. And I feel like it's really important for you at this time, part number 3, to keep up your spiritual hygiene practices and know that you're protected. Number 1, you're protected. No one can really do you harm, but what's happening is because you're so energetically tuned in, you may be unintentionally like absorbing things that are actually not yours. And so it's really important to be discerning and filter out thoughts and energy and emotions that's not yours. Return to sender, return to sender. It's a practice, but the more you keep a pure and clean and clear energetic space for yourself, it's going to support this elevation, this rising. I really feel like you're about to be guided to do something. Maybe it hasn't landed yet, but I feel this guidance coming in for you. I actually feel like you're going to receive it through an external source. I feel like it's going to come into you, this like guidance. And you may question it, is what I'm feeling. But the message from Spirit is believe that feeling that you get. Because I could feel like intuitively you can feel something. It's like you feel it when it comes in. You may get a hit, an intuitive hit, but then you might doubt it and second guess yourself and override it. Spirit's saying, trust that you can feel the spaces between the words. Believe in the impossible. Believe what you feel. Because even that, believing in the impossible, it's like believing, it's around belief in yourself, belief in your abilities, belief that you are hearing and feeling and seeing truth. That's what it feels like. Your guidance is divinely guided. You are tapping into spirit. You are extremely tapped into spirit. I just feel this like really, I just feel like there's this like, pile number 3, if you were drawn to this pile, I feel like your soul is about to experience the sweetness of life again. Just feel this like honey, like yummy, like I just feel really interesting. I actually feel like you might be about to meet someone, pile number 3. And they're going to remind you of the sweetness of life. It feels like love and it feels like a pure love. It feels like nothing. It's like, yeah, it's sweet and it's real and it's divine. That's what it is. You are coming into a time of experiencing divine love, and that's within yourself first and foremost, but it's actually going to be reflected back to you in life and how you experience life. I'm really excited for you. It feels really beautiful. Like it's a really beautiful feeling. Yeah. So I hope that answered the question. So I kind of went on a bit of a rogue. I feel like I went kind of sideways with that message, but hopefully it's landed where it's needed to land. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for receiving. Yeah, leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, and I may see you again soon. Ciao.